Welcome back to the channel. Last week I made a video about a longbow hunt in New Zealand that I guided, and I was going on. I went into a different story, and I was gonna make the video too long, so I cut it off and decided I would just make that a whole separate story. So this is what this video is about. It's about basically the biggest mistake I ever made as a hunting guide. Go ahead and take a look at it, and if you don't mind, go ahead and like and subscribe if you hadn't already, and thanks for watching. I learned a lot over in New Zealand. Real quick, second story. I had been guiding this one guy all week, and he wanted a pretty good, decent stag, pretty big stag, you know, in the 380s to 400 range. And I'd seen one down. There was a valley there that we shot a lot of stags in, and there was a little knob, and on the other side of that, and it was a flat top up there, and there's a knob there, and the grassy flat over there, and there was 3 stags over there messing around. This is it was probably during what they call the roar. We call it the rut. And it was during the roar, and they were hanging out over there, messing around, and we sat over there all morning and watched them. But it was a good 500-yard shot, and it's like, nah, he couldn't do that. Well, there's one sitting right below us, not right across from us, across the valley. And we went, and I kept telling him, he's like, what about that one? What about that? No, it's only like a 320. It wasn't very big. And I said, no, not that one, not that one. And this was the worst mistake I ever made as a guide in my guiding career. So I kept seeing those stags over there, and the guy couldn't get around very well. And so I told him, I said, just stay here. I'm going to sneak down this road. I'm going to go all the way down there behind them. And then I'm going to come up behind them, and I'm going to try to bump them towards you. And when they get, they're all 3 of them, whichever one you like out of those 3, they're all about the same. They all score the same. They're all the same price. Pick one and shoot it. And he was like, okay, sounds good. So I don't know how long it took me. I went down into the bottom where they couldn't see me, and I was running. And then I ran up the other side of the hill, and when I got up there, I saw they went into a different pasture, and they turned, and there wasn't any way to get behind them, so I wasn't going to be able to bump them. So I just, okay, we'll just try later on this afternoon. I know where they're at. They're going pretty much, they were over there bedded up. They're not going to go anywhere. We'll go eat lunch, come back out, and try to get them again. So I started walking back. Instead of going back down to the bottom, I went back on just along the ridge up on the top, and he could see me. And I walked up over that knoll. About the time I walked up over that knoll, I hear a shot, and it's like coming at me. And I was like, whoa, what's going on? This dude just shot at me or something, is the first thing that came into my mind, because I'd only heard that one other time doing deer drives, shooting does, and I was like, man, okay, what's going on? I looked at him, I threw my hands up in there like, what's up, dude? What'd you do? What's going on? And he said, I shot the one below you. And I just like, oh man, I shook my head. So the 320 we've been looking at all day, the guy shot him. And I was like, okay. So I went back, grabbed the Ranger, picked him up. We didn't even go down in there. took him back to the lodge, grabbed some guys. We went down there, quartered the stag up, and carried it back up the side of the hill and put it in the Ranger, and came back. And I guess everybody could tell I was upset because everybody went inside, and then the ranch owner came out, and he's like, "Ronnie, you okay?" I was like, "Yep." He goes back in, comes back out, and says, "Ronnie, you okay?" I said, "Yeah." And he's like, "Ronnie, are you okay?" I said, "I'm kind of pissed." And he said, "Well, did you learn something?" I said, "Yep, don't leave anybody alone again. I'll never leave anybody alone again." And he said, "Well, yeah." He said, "Don't worry about it. You're being tougher on yourself than I could ever be on you, so you're good. Don't worry about it. You learn from it, move on." So I did. We went out later that night and shot one of those stags and got him. And then later on, we went out as a big group and shot a fallow deer at 850 yards. And it walked 20 yards and fell over. So, and that was we'd been shooting, and he was using the same ranch gun from the other time. He's using that same ranch gun, and we'd been shooting it at long distance, and I'd been doing it all season and knew where that gun shot, and I told him exactly where to hold it, and he pulled the trigger, and that sucker, he didn't think he hit it, but it walked 20 yards and fell over, and he's like, "Oh man, I didn't think that was ever going to happen." But that was a pretty cool ending to that hunt too. It was I was frustrated with myself, but in the long run, it ended up working out. But yeah, that's my 2 New Zealand stories. If you don't mind, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button, and we'll get back to filming some good content, hopefully, not just me sitting in here talking to y'all. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.